All right, it is Saturday, 4 p.m. here. Time to start exploring Eorzea. We'll see if anybody joins us while I kind of go over the game plan for today. I have finally decided to actually unlock some of these jobs that have been sitting in Gridania and Limsa, including crafters and gatherers, and start doing that early Gridania Limsa game, explore some of those. That way I don't feel kind of locked into, oh, I'm working on this content, I should save this wherever I go. To Gridania first. We'll start with Carpenter over here. Edel is looking for an adventurer to deliver a forgotten item. How original. So greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Carpenter's Guild. We are the artisans who take wood and grant it new form and purpose as the archer's bow, the lance's spear, and the novice's shield. As our nation grew and prospered, the woodworker's repertoire expanded to encompass a greater variety of articles, and carpentry developed into an art. This alt is about to have more classes unlocked than my main. You are kidding me right now. Please tell me you are kidding me. Now, I must mention at this point that we owe much and more of our prosperity to the Great Loam Growery. Thanks to the hardworking botanists, we are blessed with the finest lumber in all Eorzea. Interesting though, like that you have these classes that do kind of synergize well together. So you've got carpenters and botanists who tend to do like a lot of logging, and then leather worker, you know, comes from animals. So they do like a lot of naturey stuff here. Whereas in Ul'dah you have the alchemist, which is like it deals with a lot of the stuff that the black mages use, the thaumaturges use. They have the goldsmiths, and that makes sense for Ul'dah. And then they also have weavers for the fineries. And then over in Limsa, you've got kind of the bare bones necessities of pirating, the blacksmith and armory for the ships, and the fisher. Culinary being in Limsa makes sense because of all the travelers. Hey, there you go. There's unofficial lore right there. Because the fisher, yeah, there's a lot of like dishes that deal with that. The Timber Master Beaton assesses all would-be apprentices personally. I would advise you to choose your words carefully and resist the urge to run away. Okay, why would I run away? Hartford, there's no such thing as an all-purpose wood. An archer's bow is quite unlike a scholar's bookshelf. Fair enough. Different parts of the same tree can have different uses as well. Mind you, but these are the fundamentals of carpentry. You know? Very true. I've never tried. Hey, nice, you can. You even float off the top of it. That as well, but know that the decision to initiate you into the guild rests with me. The look on your face bespeaks determination, or mayhap trapped wind. Okay. So my determined face looks like my farting face? Or my uncomfortable because I need to fart face? Still, you look strong enough to hold us all, and if your resolve is indeed genuine, I'll give you the leave to remain for the time being. However, you are useless to me in your current state. You are as a seedling, some potential perhaps, but no more like to thrive than perish. Wow! He's kind of abrasive, which is a quality for carpenters because, you know, they abrade. Saw. And then gear set list, and then we need to go carpenter and recommended gear and update. Good, you've proven that you know how to grip a saw. Thank you. But you do not mistake it for a mere tool, for it is part of you, or of your arm. And can you put down part of your arm? No. Although if I use a saw, I can. 3 logs, 3 maple logs. 1, 2, because this is the first introduction to crafting, and you know, you might be watching for the first time. So we bought our 3 maple logs. It's listed here that we have 3 and we're using 3. High quality materials is a different thing. If you had high quality materials you wanted to use, you'd use that. So you synthesize. And then the only thing we can do for now is use our basic move, synthesis. And then it goes up by an amount, which is always calculatable here. So it'll always go up by 6. When it reaches the end of the bar, you get an item. The quality bar comes into play later, and as we do more crafting and exploration, then we will kind of show how that works. Yeah, level 4 from 1 craft is awesome. If we craft another one, we'll probably even level up again. And the reason that we're level 4 is because every time that you do a new craft, you also get an experience burst for having completed that for the first time. So we got this bunch of experience for both doing the craft and doing the craft the first time. The maple lumber you have brought me is acceptable. You have passed the first test. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go grab the level 5 quest. So basic touch is our first introduction to quality. So this says increases quality, where this says increases progress. Progress is you're getting the item complete. Quality is you're getting the option of having a high quality item. I bid you craft me 3 maple shields. You can use your last durability to finish an item. And you'll see that it goes down by 10 every time. So most actions will take 10. There are a few exceptions, and then there are ways to manipulate it as you go. But plan on it taking 10 every time. Your shields are most satisfactory. Craftsmanship will help you increase your progress or your actual creation of the item. Control will help you increase your high quality chance. And CP is it's like a MP for crafting abilities. This one, several adventurers are having difficulty summoning their retainers. Should you wish to offer your assistance, you will need to find these troubled souls in Limsa, Gridania, and Ul'dah. The rewards will be the same regardless of whom you help, so don't hesitate to aid the adventure of your choice. Okay, so this is going to explain ventures for us. One of our customers has departed without her belongings, and I'm at a loss for what to do about it. This is the book in question. The face of its owner was unfamiliar to me, but Errol over there seemed quite smitten with her, as with every pretty lass he lays his eyes on. Because that goes somewhere. Obviously we can't, back here, goes somewhere. We can't access it, but... You look odd. Did you do something with your hair? A little lanolin goes a long way. Alright, so we'll talk to Errol. Ah, the sweet little thing with the journal? Of course I remember her, and remember her well. Had a smile to warm the heart, and a laugh, a lilt, one might say, to tickle the depths of the soul, and she was most eager to hear tales of my many travels, which speaks to a keen and sensitive mind. The girl spoke of paying a visit to Apkalu Falls before traveling on. I make no secret about my disinclination toward Gridanians, as you may know, even though you flirt with all of them. Oh, and the house that death built. If you're poking around looking for work, you must be an adventurer too, am I right? What do you think, gang? Should we engage in some House of the Dead? A day of merrymaking? Is that all you adventurers think about? I'm here to teach, my dear fellow. For me, these younglings are to learn a most sacred, meaningful, and uniquely uplifting dance. I wonder if the final test is to shoot an arrow through that. Let's learn about the long and storied history of the Archers Guild. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Archers Guild. The bow is an ancient tool that has existed since before our fair nation came into being. As an implement of war and hunting both, it protects us from our enemies even as it keeps us fed and clothed. The guild was established in order to promote sustainable hunting and cooperation within the hunting fraternity at large. As a happy consequence of this union, the guild's members came to engage in friendly contests of skill. I, the Archers Guild, where men and women gathered to attain mastery over the bow. More than a few members of the God's Quiver loosed their first arrow within these very halls. Greetings, adventurer. I'm told you wish to join our ranks. I'm Lucien, the master of the Archers Guild, and I bid you welcome. I bestow upon you this short bow. Is it because of my height? Is that why? So rude. Hey, we know that short bows are easier to draw than long bows for beginners, but I mean, I was very worried that she was going to be all racist on me because I'm 3 feet tall. To be fair, my short bow is twice your body size. I gotta see. Yeah. Let's go shopping at this leatherworker's outlet. The Fen-Eel Fineries. What beautiful craftsmanship. And this person's like, I've seen better. Think of all the fish this could carry. Fish? Have you lost your wits? Scoop with both hands, then look left, up, right, down. Or is it up, down, left, right, is that the, what's the code? Greetings and welcome to the Leatherworkers Guild. Here we produce the finest leather goods, taking care to honor the lives which were sacrificed for their creation. Interesting, I didn't know they did that. As you cannot have failed to notice, the Twelveswood is blessed with an abundance of life, and we Gridanians have long hunted the forest creatures for both nourishment and clothing. But Gridania is unlike any other place. The elementals that watch over the Twelveswood have never looked kindly on the taking of life, and those who flout their governance do so at their own peril. The elementals decreed that life would not be taken without due necessity, and so the Trappers' League was formed to regulate the hunting of animals. The Leatherworkers Guild was subsequently founded to manage the fair and equitable distribution of pelts. There's an actually interesting reason for why they are so picky about their products, and I've never seen it explained. Our raw materials come at the price of an animal's life, after all. Some of our crafters give up even the trade, unable to bear the guilt. Of course, rather more of our crafters give up the trade because they're unable to bear our master's scorn. Our craftsmanship is unrivaled, and each member is expected to live up to that reputation. Once you join, there's no turning back. If you dishonor us, I shall flay you myself and make a chocobo saddle from your hide. Wow, she's intense. You pass the first test, gripping your knife by the handle and not the pointy end. Do a lot of people fail that? Okay. Either way, I have animal skins. Your work is amateurish in the extreme. Thanks. The leather is unevenly tanned and practically unusual. Thanks. I suppose there's no denying that these are all leather chokers. If truth be told, an Opa Opa could have achieved similar results given skin, sinew, and time. Thanks. They literally sell rye flour, sunseed wheat flour, and cornmeal, which are all ground here at the grindery. Yep, that's pretty much all it is. It exists for flavor. And I don't mean that as a pun, because, you know, it's flour. It's not really flavorful. Don't suppose you could tell me what an elemental is now, could you? Hey, if anyone wants to fill him in, feel free. All I know about the elementals is that they are elementals, and they're aligned with certain elements, and they exist for the glory of the Twelveswood's natural bounty, you know? Like, that's it. Interested in becoming a botanist, are you? But first, a brief explanation of the origins of the Botanist Guild. Our guild boasts a long history. Its roots, can be traced back some 500 years ago, to when our nation was still in its infancy. It was around that time that a precursor organization to our own was established to facilitate communion with the elementals. But I suspect you're already confused. Not being forest-born. Let me put it in a way that your kind would understand. The Twelveswood simply doesn't belong to man, but almighty beings known as the elementals. It is by their leave that we Gridanians dwell here in the forest, and it is by their leave that we receive of its bounty. Ever since mankind settled in the Twelveswood, it has been necessary for us to obtain the elementals' permission prior to taking aught from their domain. Historically, that was a rather involved process, that only a precious few could actually commune with them, specifically those conjurers blessed with the ability to hear the elementals, aptly known as hearers. In order to relay the elementals' will, the botanists, in a more timely manner, a new organization was formed with a hearer as its mouth and ears. This organization would eventually evolve to become the Botanist Guild. To this day, the guild employs the services of a hearer who offers guidance to our members. Yet this is no longer our organization's sole concern. We also seek to promulgate correct harvesting practices, that is, practices which honor the will of the elementals. It's kind of making sense with the way that the elementals work, the hunting and all that jazz. These are some massive pumpkins. I'm Fafucha, the master of this guild. No thief's gonna get his grubby hands on our grain while I'm on watch. Nay, not so much as a single mangy squirrel. Not much going on down here. Still kind of like cool looking though. Please, you must do something. The girl's only seen 12 summers. But that's not right. Such is the will of the forest. So they're basically just saying the elemental said she's in trouble and that's fine. Wow, that's a little messed up. Ahead you will find Stillglade Fane, where the conjurers conduct their meditations. Go quietly within these caverns. You're come to Stillglade Fane, home of the Conjurers Guild. It is an adventure itself to get here every time. Yeah. We conjurers harness the power of earth, wind, and water that abound in nature, and thereby weave spells of healing and protection. Unlike men and other creatures bound in temples of flesh, the elementals are beings of pure ether. That's an interesting clue. Recognizing this, the mages of Eld reasoned that with their talent for etheric manipulation, they might allow them to commune with these theretofore enigmatic creatures. Hearers, those mages who are able to commune with them. So it's different from a primal, because they're born of ether, but they're not required to have, like, followers, and they don't temper, and they have power and stuff, but, I mean, they're more just kind of like, they exist. Kind of like sprites and other things that are just etheric beings, but more sentient, I suppose. They're all like bored to death. And a capacity for healing would be advantageous. Mind you, there's more to conjury than that. By harnessing the power of earth, wind, and water, conjurers also capable of weaving spells that wreak havoc. Just beyond the city gates, you will encounter squirrels, ladybugs, and funguars. I would have you slay 3 of each. Lest you wonder how I can so coolly order the taking of life, that is a good question. Know that many things are not as they once were. As a consequence of the calamity, and I may add, through no fault of their own, these creatures have become a burden to the Twelveswood, a burden it cannot well bear. And so we come up to Apkalu Falls to talk to Jonathan, Master of the Rolls. You've accomplished enough feats to keep the bard singing for a lifetime. Such an achievement shouldn't go unrecognized, and to that end I'd like you to have this. Consider it a token of my highest esteem. I have? I've accrued achievement points? First time in my entire existence ever using this emote. Alright, Millith Ironheart. Pardon, I don't believe we've met. You've something in mind, you say? Let's see, you're the comely lass that he was talking about? My journal, thank the 12. In my haste to escape the clutches of that insufferable mutton-monger, it slipped my mind entirely. As an adventurer, you too have seen the realm, I'm sure. But I would ask you, Eorzeon, have you truly seen her, borne witness to Eorzea in her myriads of splendor? Well, that's what the stream's for. So we'll get there. Why do I even try to convey with words that which must be seen to be appreciated? You know why this place is called Apkalu Falls? Someone once tried to breed Apkalus here, or so the story goes. Looks like it didn't go too well, though. Unless they were really good at hiding. Check out this person who you can triple triad just out in the boons. Small talk. My wife and child. The men and women with whom I shared a stage. They're gone. Every last one of them. There's nothing left in my life worth a darn. Except for triple triad. Ursendel. The manor I served in was no less magnificent than those found in the Gentry's ward yonder. I'm guessing this would be the Gentry's ward. I've never actually learned anything about this. And magnificent it should be, for it was formerly home to the generation of seed-seers. 2 generations of seed-seers. However, the elder seed-seer before the last declared that he needed not such extravagance, and that the abode came into the ownership of the D'Artancourt family. D'Artancourt. Severain. This district the district beyond is home to distinguished Gridanians. Commoners may not enter. That includes you, adventurer. Excuse me? You. Could you possibly be? Oh, actually, I know something about this NPC. I'll have to do a short about it because it's pretty interesting. No, forget I said anything. My mistake. Black Boar Gate. These gates are to remain closed until further notice. If you wish to venture outside the walls, you can ride the ferry from West Shore Pier south of the Lancer Guild. Interesting. So where would the Black Boar Gate have taken us? Here at the Lancers Guild, spear wielders gather to train with one another and further hone their abilities under the tutelage of our fine instructors. More than just an instrument of war, the spear is also a tool for hunting, which is technically just, war against a thing so you can eat. Well met, adventurer. I understand you wish to learn the Lancer's art under our roof. There exists myriad fighting I'm sorry, I can't take this seriously. Each of which has its own unique qualities. None, however, can claim to be as offensively minded as ours. Our approach is ever one of attack, no matter who or what we face. Yet know that a lance alone does not a lancer make. Faced with unfavorable odds, an unseasoned spearman will break formation and flee without a moment's hesitation. A true lancer, however, flinches not before his enemies, for he knows not the meaning of fear. Ever does he press forward, disdainful of the odds, that he might pierce the enemy line and open a path to victory. Which makes sense given, the guy in the quests, he's so obsessed with, you can't have any fear. It's a mainstay of the Lancer principles. You were able to discern one end of the spear from the other. Good. I would hope so. You were doubtless eager to put your new weapon to the test, which is well, for I too have a test in mind. And I picked it up in, 1 whole second. It's kind of a long dance. And then there's Beaten. Alright, so we have to go right in between these 2 trees, because it talks about, the 2 become 1. It's hard to actually tell, what that references, but they kind of, bind up in there. So you would never really see that unless you, got in place. And was it Prey, or is it Lookout? Yeah, it's Lookout. The great stone that adorns the entrance to Stillglade Fane is none other than the Sky Serpent's egg. I honestly didn't notice a great stone that adorns the Stillglade Fane, cast down from the heavens by Nafika, the matron, so long ago. And those mammoth tree trunks, remnants, no doubt, of a primeval forest. Whence did they come? Why do the other 2 great arbors grow as one? This I do not know, but what I do know is that the realm is replete with such beauty, if we only know where to look. You now have access to the Sightseeing Log, a companion of the most beautiful sights to be seen in Eorzea, as compiled by the explorer Millith Ironheart. To open it, select Logs, followed by Sightseeing Log. Yeah, you get a little hint under the azure. I gazed down upon warships 3, their billowing sails of crimson, obviously somewhere in Limsa, leaving no doubt as to who truly rules the seas. Such were the merchant's words, and I would see what he saw. I see you eyeing me, Imitra. We are going to wave, and we are going to say, I'll see you next time.